Hey, good morning, everybody. Rachel and I are here to lead you in some really great joy songs that are all about inclusiveness today. So this first one's by Daniel Nahmad. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place, at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place, at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place, the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place, at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. My soul is welcome here. 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 Yeah. And this time we just want you to respond to my call.
It's a Janice Kelly song. They're so good, Janice.
I am a gift. I am a gift to everyone I meet.
To everyone I meet,
I shine my light.
I shine my light
Everywhere I go,
everywhere I go,
and I belong.
and I belong.
Every place I enter,
Every place I enter,
for I am loved,
for I am loved,
and I am home.
and I am home.
You are a gift
You are a gift
to everyone you meet.
to everyone you meet.
You shine your light
You shine your light
everywhere you go,
everywhere you go,
and you belong.
and you belong.
Every place you enter,
Every place you enter,
for you are loved,
for you are loved,
and you are home.
and you
We
are
are,
home.
we are a gift
and welcome to Columbine Spiritual Center. We're centered in God. We celebrate a world of harmony, peace, and abundance for all. Come on up, ladies. We are so excited to welcome back our dear friends, Edden and Leah. We're also a little bit wistful in that Leah's going to be taking off for college next week, and we won't see her for a bit, but they've got some really special music planned for us today. So let's welcome Edden and Leah.
Thanks.
Thank you, ladies, and we now will light our Christ candle. And I invite you to join me in prayer, always being aware of the Christ light that you are, that shines brightly within you. And so we gently close our eyes, take a deep cleansing breath. We thank you, God, for those beautiful words, amazing grace, from John Newton, former slave trader, who years later wrote those lyrics and helped abolish slavery in Great Britain in 1807. And so, Sweet Spirit, we are grateful for everyone who helps with racial equality, with everyone who helps us all feel included. We are grateful for everyone who gets in that good trouble, as John Lewis says, who does the work that they're called to do to make the world a better place for all of us, to include all of us in this circle of compassion. So, Sweet Spirit, this morning we just ask a better question. What is ours to do? What is ours to do to help and love our neighbor? What is ours to do to help and love our Black brothers and sisters? What is ours to do to help someone who may be suffering or challenged with health issues during this time of pandemic? And we are grateful, Sweet Spirit, for whatever guidance we get. And we know that that guidance is an invitation to step forward in faith, to take that step sacredly. We thank you, God, for all the blessings that we receive and all the blessings that we give and all the blessings that we are. And so it is. Amen.
Myself the truth, or at least I try. I complain 1,000 times, but be sure to know I've cried. But I've gotten through it, so I'm doing something right. I hope it doesn't stay like this, 'cause it's a tiring kind of fight. I promise not to tell you the secrets that have kept my head up above the water. But talking, I should done a lot of healing. I've seen with my own eyes. about myself. Pity gets in the way of things. I crash so hard instead of softly landing. I tell myself the truth, or at least I try. I complain 1,000 times, but you should know I've cried. But I've gotten through it, so I'm doing something right. I hope it doesn't stay like this, 'cause it's a tiring kind of fight.
Beautiful ladies, thank you so much. This week, I started 2 classes. I took a workshop last Monday and started a class on Thursday on healing racism and becoming more aware of the spiritual aspects that underlying the need to transcend racism in our society. I've been asking myself the questions, what is mine to do? And what could we do as a spiritual community? I don't have any answers yet other than educating myself and getting myself more knowledgeable and more aware. This week I read an article about a Unity minister, Ruth Mosley. She was at the Unity Convention in June of 1978. And she had been getting asked a lot of questions because a few months earlier in February in Ebony magazine, Reverend Johnny Coleman had left Unity and was very upfront about the prejudice and discrimination that she felt in Unity. And she left and started her own ministry. So Ruth Mosley, another Black, newer minister, was being asked, what do you think about that? What do you think about that Johnny Coleman article? And Ruth, at that time, was not really comfortable answering the questions and having to admit that, yes, she too faced discrimination and prejudice in Unity as a Unity minister. It wasn't until Stan Hampson, another Unity minister who was at the Unity Village Chapel at that time, asked her a better question. He asked her, what can we do to help your people? And that lit something up in her, and she had an idea. We need to educate them. Give them these tools that Unity is great at. And that was the beginning and the birth of Unity Urban Schools in Detroit, Michigan. The next year, in 1979, we opened Unity Urban School, where we could help and train and educate inner city people to be Unity ministers. So Ruth had this idea from getting asked a better question. Later on, Reverend Stan Hampson gave a talk on asking a better question, and he wrote in that, what shapes our lives and determines our experience is really the kind of question we ask. Your life is shaped daily, momently, by your questions. An answer is like closing the door, an ending, a finishing, a conclusion. But a question is always a new beginning. I started thinking about that and how the questions that we ask are so important. Usually when I'm researching for a talk, I ask Google a question, hoping to get a bunch of responses, some kind of answers that will help me get some great information for my talks. And often I find that I didn't ask the question just right. It wasn't exactly what I was looking for, and I have to rephrase it and ask again. So I got a little curious on what kind of questions does Google get? Because I'm sure Google gets millions and millions of questions. And the response was funny. And the top 5 what questions asked of Google per month in 2019 were, what is my IP was number 1. Surprisingly, there were 4 million people that asked that every month. The second one I have asked myself, what is love? 1.8 million people a month ask, what is love? Then third was, what time is it? Really? What time is it? Okay. But the fourth one was funny, what men want. I don't know if it's men asking or women asking, but what men want. It was actually tied with, what's on TV tonight? So just funny on the questions that we ask. And we need to be aware of how we can ask a better question to get a better response, to get a better answer. I know with me, when my kids were little, I would always ask them, probably most of you parents too have asked the same thing, especially teenagers, how was school today? And their standard response was, fine. And just this morning when we had our outdoor patio service, I caught myself, I was asking something that we always ask, all of us, how are you? And the answer is fine or good. It doesn't really give us much to go on for a conversation, does it? We want to open our conversations with better questions. Asking keeps us open to the infinite possibilities, deeper insights, expanded awareness. When we stop asking questions, it's often because we don't want to know the answer, or we think we already know the answer, or we think that the answer is going to be something beyond our belief system. Or maybe we just don't care. We're lazy. But remember, Jesus said, ask, and it shall be given to you. Knock, and it shall be open. So spiritually, what are we looking for with our questions? Are we looking for how can we embrace oneness? How can we see the Christ in this person that annoys me or this person that hurt me? How can we see the Christ in everyone? That's a great question to ask regarding other people. I often ask, what does this soul need right now? What does this soul need? Gregory Boyle is a Jesuit priest, and many of you have probably heard of him. He does work with the gangs in LA, and he talks about, imagine a circle of compassion, and nobody is standing outside that circle. Nobody's standing outside that circle. This is what inclusiveness is all about, that nobody is outside the circle of compassion, that everyone is included. This is why Columbine chose inclusiveness as one of our 5 core values. We've been talking about Columbine's core values: community, spirit-led, inspiration, and authenticity. And today we wrap up with the last core value, those values that we deem really important here at Columbine. And the last one is inclusiveness. We are all one. It's our number one unity principle, that we are all one, that there is only one presence and one power. And this God, this spirit, this divine mind, this universe, whatever you want to call it, is big enough to love us all equally. We talk about inclusiveness in this way: we embrace all people as expressions of God. We work together for the common good, embracing our differences with compassion. Because, of course, in our humanness, we are all different. We all have different experiences, different beliefs, different priorities, different preferences. But we're all one. And we want to embrace those differences, include everyone in that circle of compassion. At the end of May, we honored our YOU, Youth of Unity graduates, with a service where we asked them to do a video, asked them to create a video. We could have asked the question, who are we missing? We included two students, Brett and Jackson, who graduated. But we missed this young man, Daniel Kyler. We found out just this week that we had missed him, and we feel so bad that we missed him, but in a spirit of inclusiveness, we're including him today and honoring him and honoring the achievement that he has made in graduating from Broomfield High School. His father, David, is one of our Uniteam sponsors for years, and he's done a beautiful job with our middle-aged school children. And he wrote me and told me that Daniel, his son, who you see here on the screen, just graduated from Broomfield High School in May. And he has been coming to Columbine since the year 2000. They were introduced when they moved to Colorado. They were introduced to Columbine by Joanne and Ellen Kelly, longtime members here. And Daniel went through elementary, our youth and family ministry program, through middle school, and through YOU. He especially liked attending the rallies, and he prepared a video for us this week at last minute, and we are so grateful that he did that. He was planning to spend a gap year overseas with some family friends, and of course, due to the pandemic now, not able to do that. He's discerning what his gap year will look like right here in Colorado, in Boulder. But I want to show you his video that he created for us. If you want to play that video, Bonnie.
Hi, this is Daniel Kyler, the recent graduate. What YOU has done for me is given me a chance to meet a lot of great people in my life. And one person I would have, a couple people I have to thank for my development and where I am today would be Eric Tice and Blair Tice, the best people that I've met, conducting YOU. And yeah.
Thank you, Daniel, for sending that video. We are so proud of you. I know that wasn't easy, that you had to be vulnerable. And I love what you said, that it was about the people. In Africa, they say that a person becomes a person through other people. And the fact that you recognized Eric and Blair Tice, Eric was a YOU sponsor for many years, YOU sponsor when Daniel was part of the program. We're so grateful to Eric and his wife Blair for the years of dedication and love and support and guidance that they both gave our teenagers. So grateful for that. So grateful for them. So thank you, Daniel. There's a little bit of a story to this video that I want to share, and I'm kind of embarrassed about it. It has to do with my own reaction to the video. When I first saw it, I constantly work on a little-known character flaw called perfectionism. And when I first saw the video, I thought, it could be better. So it was asked, Daniel was asked to reshoot the video. Didn't have to change the wording, just reshoot it to make it look better. And Daniel, in his wisdom and his love for himself, said no. I'm grateful he said no, because we don't often know where the teachers come from. Sometimes our greatest teachers come from unexpected places. And this week, 2 days ago, Daniel was a great teacher for me. Because we're talking about inclusiveness, and inclusiveness means accepting people where they are. Accepting people as they are, not as we would have them be, not perform as we would have them perform, not have their video be as perfect as we would like. So Daniel, I'm so proud of you for standing up for yourself. He said that video represented who he is, and it does. You see, Daniel's been on the spectrum, and we are so aware that was not easy for him to do. And so proud that he looked right in the camera, that he said what he said. So profound words that it's the people that make a difference. So thank you, Daniel, and thank you, David, for the blessings that you both are, to Columbine. If you'd like to leave a message for Daniel in the chat box, I encourage you to do that. Send him a blessing, a congratulations. It's a big milestone to graduate from high school for any young man or woman, and so we are really, really proud of him. You know, Ernest Holmes says that unity does not mean uniformity. We are all one through the divine, and yet that oneness does not mean sameness. We often confuse that. Each person is a direct and equal emanation of the divine, unique, perfect, whole, and complete in our diversity. All are endowed with equal access to the prosperity and love of the divine. Now, of course, this is an aspiration. It's an aspiration and not necessarily what we're seeing in our society right now because of our humanness, because of our bias. Bias shows up in many ways. Inclusion means accepting and respecting every person, regardless of their race, their gender, their age, their sexual orientation, their background, their religious beliefs, or their political preferences. So we need to ask a better question here. What barriers do we need to release to allow everyone at the table? Every life is valuable, and no life is more valuable than another. God, Spirit, is big enough, and his table, her table, its table is big enough to have a place for everyone. Research says that being excluded shows up in the same place in the brain as physical pain. It threatens our sense of belonging and our self-esteem. And strong, harmful reactions are possible when people feel ostracized and excluded and disempowered. Think about a time you were excluded. I'm sure all of us have one, at least one. How did you react? How did you feel? David Asai is the head of biological sciences at Purdue University, and 20 years ago, he was asked to do a 10-year multicultural forum where they talked about race and talked about inclusion and diversity. He said he reluctantly joined that forum for 10 years. It wasn't something he wanted to do. He wanted to stay with his science and stay with doing his research. But he learned a lot through this forum. He learned a lot about cultural differences and exclusion and inclusion. And he learned that there are things we can do to help people feel included. There's a step that we can take. And he says this: I began to understand that inclusion is about paying attention to feelings. How it feels to have to justify every day that you belong. How it feels to constantly be on guard to survive an environment not of your making. Learning the skills of inclusion starts with empathy, the ability to recognize and share another's feelings. Isn't that so true? It starts with empathy. It starts with recognizing another person's feelings and empathizing with them. You know, Jesus was great at this. Jesus was able to put himself in other people's shoes. And he didn't come here to be for the people. He came here to be with the people, to eat with them, to stay with them, to walk with them, to talk with them. He was with the ostracized, the marginalized of his time. And everyone had a place at the table with Jesus. He made them or helped them see that they had a place in life. This week I came across a video on people who have made a difference, and I want to share this video with you. It's a teacher who's in special education, Lawton Middle School. Go ahead and start the video, Bonnie.
My name is Sadie Guthrie, and I'm a special ed teacher at Lawton Alternative School. I think the advantage special ed teachers have is we get so close to the family and we work so hard with certain students every day that you can't not have an emotional relationship with these families and kids. Sometimes it's really difficult for special ed or school settings to be like, okay, go talk to this person, but if you don't have like a common ground, it's pretty difficult. And I think when I thought to bring Coffee Cart to Lawton, I just really thought there could be nothing better to like improve our community and give the kids in my class like more opportunity to become part of the greater school community. I think everyone was a little hesitant to start. They like didn't really get the purpose, but once I kind of explained, we're learning, job skills and independence and responsibility and all these functional skills, and we're being a part of the community, it kind of started to click. And then when we started doing it, it just, rocketed. We go to Devil's Teeth, which is a local bakery, and we get a baked good donation. Nathan, walk, please. We're like now out in the actual community, showing people really what we're capable of. Then we have to learn transportation skills, which are really important in big urban cities. We then have to take the transportation to get the baked goods, where we do kind of like social interactions with strangers. Safe strangers, obviously.
Hello, my name is Noah, and I'm from Lawton Middle School, and we're here to pick up the baked goods.
Awesome. We're going to get those right up for you, Noah.
Yeah!
Action. Good. So Coffee Cart's kind of cool because we're creating that community within our school, and it's mobile, so my students are getting out of the classroom, they're being seen as like very productive, contributing members of our school.
Oh, you have my favorite scones. So I would like a scone to accompany my tea, please.
Any
any school in this country could take this example to help transform their own school community, to make sure that every child feels accepted, that every child feels that they belong, that they have a place.
You know, they're incredibly charismatic. There's something about each and every one of them that, you know, makes you want to like talk to them more or see them more. Coffee carts is such a special, unique thing that no other students get to do, so they kind of big man on campus kind of thing. They really like it and feel important when they do it. I see so much in them and kids with disabilities in general, so when I hear people kind of, you know, even unintentionally put them down or not expect the best, it's hard. Even if you face challenges, those challenges aren't necessarily the important part. It's more like, what are the skills that you do have that you're going to use to move forward? So it's less about what are you struggling with, it's more about like, how awesome can you be?
I love that she had, I don't know if you noticed at the beginning where she had puzzle pieces and each of the kids had written a part of themselves or something that they wanted to share, and puzzle piece, because we all make up the whole, every one of us, and without each of those puzzle pieces, we're not whole, we're not complete. And then how she mentioned that, you know, it's not about what you're struggling with. So that's not the question, what am I struggling with, what am I challenged with, but how awesome can I be? How awesome can you be? Instead of asking why questions, why is this pandemic happening? Why are we seeing so much racial injustice? We can ask, what can we do? What is mine to do in this moment, in this time period in society? What can I do? How awesome can you be? What legacy do you want to leave behind? And who might we be excluding from our circle of compassion? And what can we do to include them? These are better questions to get better answers. So this week I invite you to ask a better question. Make sure no one gets left behind. Know that we are all one. See what better answers you just might get. I want to lead us now into a time of meditation. This meditation is from Reverend Stan Hampson. So let's go inwardly for just a moment. Take some deep breaths. Go down to the center of your being. We are now in the presence of pure being and immersed of the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. We acknowledge your presence and your power, O Blessed Spirit. From your divine wisdom, now erase our mortal limitations. And from your pure substance of love, bring into manifestation our world according to your perfect law. Through your presence and your power within us, we can do all things. We can do all things. We can meet any challenge and be victorious in spite of it or through it. We would give thanks that your presence here invites a different question from us, that you have challenged us to knock, to see, to ask differently. In our relationship with you and with all of your other children, we can find that as we ask differently, we experience differently. What is this, Lord? All right. How do you want me to deal with it? I can do all things through your presence with me. I invite you to take those words into your consciousness. I can do all things through your presence with me, within me. And ask a better question.
May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure within you guide your way on, guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on, guide your way
It never stops being special to feel like we're up here doing this thing and looking on the stream and everybody that's joined with us today and all your comments and connections and our 9 a.m. service outside, just this community that we have. This time has proved even more than ever like how special we are and how much we need each other. So thank you, everybody who's here online now, and everybody who, you know, was watching later. We are all together, and we're doing this together, and we are just so grateful. And this is the time in our offering and our service where we take your offering, and we are completely self-supporting through your contributions and tithes, and whether it's $1 or $1 million, every single bit. Wouldn't $1 million be nice? Anyway, whatever you give is well received and is doing this work and allowing us to continue to be here in this sanctuary that feels empty, but it's not, you know, because you are right here with us, and we can feel that 100%. So you can go to our website and press donate, and there's the Breeze giving. There's all kinds of stuff anyway. But we just thank you. So let's say our offertory blessing together, which has proved to always be true. God's love has always met and will always meet all my needs. I give freely, I receive abundantly, and I am grateful. So we have a couple announcements. One is just that our website is the place to go for so many different things. So if you are new to us in this new way of being on the online community, we want you to know that you are here with us and be able to connect. We have an update that comes out every Thursday. We have various email blasts with information. And we have the e-bulletin that comes out on Sunday mornings with links. So you can go to the website and sign up where it says contact us here and fill out a form, and then Sue will contact you. And I'm Rachel, Director of Community Care. My whole job is to make you feel included. Inclusiveness. So if you need anything, you come to me. I'm available. We also are still doing our small groups every week, and there's links to those and the Zoom meetings. And if you're interested in looking at past talks, those are on video and audio. There's just a lot on our website, so we really encourage you to do that, as well as ability to donate through there. So what else did I say we were going to talk about today, Bonnie? Oh, so this morning we unveiled, actually Trudy Lyda unveiled this beautiful sculpture on the corner of our patio, and it's called Love with Passion. I was trying to remember that. And this is a gift that she received from her brother who passed away last year, who was a fantastic artist. And so we are just so excited to have this on our grounds. And come and shop the bookstore. Come visit us. We're here Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Have a picnic on the patio and see this beautiful sculpture that was donated to Columbine. So this is the last week to register for Standing Firm, which will be a 4-week class on Zoom on Wednesday evenings from 7 to 8. This is Mary Morrissey's creation. It goes through the dark night of the soul all the way to the U-turn to turning around to something beautiful in your life. So this is a time for a lot of us where there's a lot going on for us, and I'm excited to take the class. I'm registered. And so you can look at your e-bulletin, you can be on the website, all the places to register. We'd love to have a full house for this and take that deep dive. We are taking a month off from Colorado Feeding Kids, and we have done this amazing job of packing these meal kits, and they are full of meal kits. They're looking for more ways to distribute. So thank you for everybody who's helped us with this project this summer, and we will continue and be on the lookout for next week. And there is a youth and family ministry training coming up next month, so it's kind of a ways off. But if you have any interest in working with Christopher in youth and family ministry on our new online format, we're looking for more people to help with that might have a creative edge, and this training would be a great place to start. Also, the school year is coming up. Can you believe it? We're going to start on August 30th with our official youth and family ministry program. And we're doing a shout out. We're looking for all kids to come, and we're really looking for more uniteens and high school age kids who want to help create their program. So if you have a kid who's of that age range, if you could contact Christopher, that would be great. And we're looking at fun things to do that. And Fellowship is always fun after church for a little connection. It starts around 12:15, goes for about 30 minutes till 12:45 or 1, and we just visit with each other, and if there's enough people, we break into small groups. Otherwise, just seeing each other's little faces on those little squares and just loving each other. So we'd love for you to join us. The link is in the e-bulletin and can be found on the website. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff.
Yee.
And we're going to sing the peace song, and then I'm so excited. Janice wrote a song for today that goes perfect, as always.
It is.
So you can stick around afterwards for that.
Outro. All right.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Swell.
Swell. That's what they say in the youth program.
There is room for me in this circle. I've been invited to come along. There's a place for me at the table, for I am worthy, wanted, I belong. Yes, I am worthy, wanted, I belong.
There's room for you now.
There is room for you and this circle. You are invited to come along. There's a place for you at the table, for you are worthy, wanted, you belong. Yes, you are worthy, wanted, you belong.
There's room for us.
There is room for us in this circle. You are invited to come along.
Still working that out.
There's a place for us at the table, for we are worthy, wanted, we belong. Yes, we are worthy, wanted, we belong.
One more time.
Yes, we are worthy, wanted, we belong. Oh.
Bye, everybody.
Have
We
a
love you.
beautiful
See you at
week.
Fellowship. Have a good week. Bye. Bye. They're getting smaller as we go away. Bye, everybody. We love you.